Alright. Hello everyone, this is Crazy, aka Why Must I Sign In, and this is a 3 vs 3 match with, on the blue team, Washburne as a Raven opening M, CrakShott going 4 laser, 3 interceptors as a carrier, Jochen going 4 shields, 3 missiles as a Colossus, Seb going 3 spores as a Guardian, CubanaBeat going Plague as an Overlord, and Kraken going 5 Gats as a Dread on the blue team. On the red team, we have SanyaWhite going Energy Nova opening VR, Supernoob going 4 shields, 3 missiles as Colossus, Raven going Imp as Avaruus Roma. Wait, Avaruus Usurulum. No, I can't even. Boomer going ranged missile as BC, and fastforward going Storm as Arbiter. And so this is Star Battle 3.1. This is not Star Battle X. This is the preferred form of Star Battle on the European server, which means that if you wake up at 9 AM in my time, then you can get into an IH here, and then you can switch over and do IH on the NA server at like 4 PM. It's a pretty big difference in time zones. And so yeah, Crack over here. Let Jochen cut over to try to get some aggression against Sanya, I guess. But as you can see, the farm is dead even pretty much. No individual ships are getting a lot more farm than others, other than maybe Cubana getting a little bit more just at 275 minerals with Ovi, but at 3 minutes, no one is particularly well farmed. Blue team is just, 10 farm ahead, but that's nothing pretty much in this game. Supernoob got in there and he's taking some pull. And so in 3.1, there are lots of IH rules. You cannot, for instance, have a double Colossus, but you'll notice that both teams do have a Colossus. You cannot have Arbs open shield regen, which is why all our Arbiters are opening spells. And I think you also can't have 3 tanks, although I'm not sure that's as big of a thing when you can't have double Colossus. And so the red team, red team is, both teams do still have 2 tanks. They're both Colossus Dreadnought. And so then the difference is actually in becoming a little bit more specific. So it's VR versus Carrier, Guardian versus BC, Overlord versus Raven. Not exactly like that, right? It's more, actually it's Raven versus Raven, right? So it's really BC versus Overlord. Kinda. Something like that. I mean, it's ARK or ARK as kind of the base of each team. And so that seems to be somewhat popular on EU, just to give that versatility in different types of support. Actually, it's ARKD on both teams. So it really is the Overlord and the Guardian. Wait, no, that can't be right. No. Blue team doesn't have an Arbiter. Okay, I'm sorry. I was throwing myself off there. Blue team does not have an Arbiter. It's Raven Overlord. That's their 2 support. It's red team that is Raven Arbiter. Alright, so sorry that I got myself a little bit confused there. Just trying to make sure I understand the overall strategy of these 2 compositions. The blue team just going back here at the 6-minute mark. They managed to get a mid-game or a mid-early game contain just briefly there, but they didn't overextend, didn't let the other red team come out and catch anyone out of position. So, they have lots of slow ships, so they do want to make sure that their Colossus with his 1.4 speed does get back safely. Well, that does mean they're going to lose the siege creep here, whereas the red siege creep will be coming in. You always got to make sure you're not going to get surprised by that enemy siege creep. And that is the only kind of drawback of holding the enemy line until 5:30 and then coming back to be back at base by 6. Cubana as a Overlord did pick up Contaminate. He's at 350 energy, so he's going to Contaminate Flag. Jochen at 7 shield, 3 missile. Washburne still just mostly getting that energy up. Kraken managed to get Dwarf in for his 6 ints. So we can get that spam maintained. Most of the red team, I don't think, has really had the chance to get the minerals they need to get some big spells yet. Although Sanya is up to 4 laser, 1 beam. And so the restrictions on lasers and energy nova, I believe, is based on timing. So you cannot open 3 laser nova because the nova increases in damage as you increase your phase disruptors. And so there's this rule where you can't have 3 lasers and nova at the start of the game to deny your own farm, basically. So we're 5 Yats versus 5 Yats. A lot of similarities in these compositions. So it's actually the KDR that is the same between both teams. So there are 3 ships the same, and those 3 ships are going pretty much the same build. So Raven Imp, Dread 5-Gat, and Colossus Shield Missile is kind of the core of most EU 3.1 compositions. I would say, at least if this game is representative. It might not be. I was just a little bit surprised there wasn't an Arbiter on the blue team, as I seem to think they had an Arbiter for a few minutes there. But I don't think that's too much of a big deal for them, right? Because they're going this heavy Zerg build, so they're really trying to limit the potential, anticipating something like a Raven with them, yeah? Oh, and we have Cloak on fast forward now, letting him dodge the plagues on Supernoob. Sanya picked up Blink. Like the opposed Raven, mostly just focusing on energy and a few farming ups for... How are we going to say this name, man? Avaruus Roma. It's a fun thing with him. And we're going to get Hardened Shield and Supernoob. No spells yet. You know, it's the difference of 2 lasers versus Hardened Shield. Like, the overall damage from the blue team is enough that, you know, these level 1 Corruptors dealing 50 damage a second. Subs up. He really only has 200 energy from. Where even are these Corruptors coming from? Huh. Not entirely sure, honestly, where all those Corruptors came from. Oh, Swarm Command. That's what we're looking at here. So nothing else from the Swarm Command is out right now, but he should be expecting Broodlords as well. Kraken picked up Bombardment. Never my favorite spell as a Dread, but it certainly has its uses. Actually, a little bit surprising because they don't, you know, blue team is the one with the carriers, so I'm surprised that Kraken picked up Bombard. Not exactly sure what the thought is there, except it does deal pretty good damage against an enemy Dread. It deals 2,600 damage to an enemy Dreadnought. So even though he has that passive spell resistance, that's still going to be, I believe, well over the damage of a Yamato if it stays landed on. We're getting, you know, the Plague really keeping his hold down. Will he actually start to burn? No, I don't think so. I think he will avoid the burn now, but he will be low on hull, which makes him just a little bit nervous. It means that his shields have to be up for him to be able to tank at all. Wash still at 0 lasers. He just let himself go to 0 or a 3-shot farm for the 13-minute mark. You know, because he wants the energy and he wants the imp, and he's coming in now with 500 mils, and there he gets the 2 lasers, because he's like, I'm not going to stay on 3-shot farm forever. 425 energy. And he pick up Radar as well. I'm thinking he picked up Radar as well. Oh, no. No, he did not. He does not have radar right now. Okay. How about the red team today? Oh, the Raven's right here. Yeah, and so Avaruus does have radar, so you can see the enemy team coming out as such. And here comes, this is now Seb's big pushing capacity. He's dropping his adrenal overload to keep more broods and corruptors coming out. I think this is actually from the Storm Command again, actually. Yeah, if it was Seb's, it would say Seb's. So these corruptors are from CubanaBeat and his Storm Command. So Sanya picked up Chrono, and is up to 0.36 speed on 6 beams, but no charge yet. So he's gonna have a, oh, look at that purple beam. Oh, that's gorgeous. Dude, I want a purple beam. Schloss, make me a purple beam. In real life, I'm waving my finger at Schloss right now. Okay, here we go. CrakShott's Tempest up to 4 ups with 15 range. You know, he does get range on the Tempest. For each range, he also gets for the interceptors and the lasers. So carrier range just affects everything, pretty much, except spells. And I don't think they're going to manage to drop this battle stationing right now, though. You know, it's at 2.7 speed. This is really only 40 damage a second, or actually even less than that, against these towers, because they are armored mechanical structures, but they are not massive in the way that enemy capital ships are. There's that. Oh, he got locked down. Bombardment denied by the lockdown. Supernoob trying to get some push in, but he doesn't. I don't think Boomer has his missiles. Oh, no, Boomer's missiles are landing, but with 9 shields, hard for Jochen to really get things. And now they both do have hard shields now, so they are about equal in tankiness. Feedback as well from fastforward. He's trying to get him in here, and but he got in by Washburne. And so now this is sort of an awkward back from the blue team because Supernoob extended just a little bit further than the rest of the team. But they managed to get him back into a point where he's going to be okay. Obviously, blue team doesn't really want to over-focus their efforts on the Colossus since he is quite tanky. And here are the Brood Lords, which are still broken in animation. But they're actually out right now. They are shooting their Brood Lords. And so I think that just recently, Star Battle X did finally fix that. But I think ETA is still, ETA Perrine is still working on his version to get it back to the point where everything is not broken anymore. Looks like, now this might be because I'm just a observer. I'm not sure if he removed the buttons up here. Sanya going back with a warp. While the blue team is coming out. That's something you gotta be careful with, but as a Void Ray, sometimes it makes more sense. You know, Void Ray is one of the few ships that actually can warp out while the other team is coming out. Because most other ships, you want to actually go back with your team so that you can cover if necessary. But with a Void Ray, generally, if you don't have the damage up, if you don't have charge, you just warp out, you go get charge, you go get some other reps, and you can come out and maybe save your team before they get killed. And so, yeah, he's coming out, and there's still all this distance, right? So, if someone was in trouble, he might have been able to save them at that point. Whereas if he had gone back with the team, he might not have had the damage to really save anyone.
Upgrade complete.
And so Sanya is actually looking up at this and he's like, okay, I don't need to look at my own ship. How am I going to deal with these 4 Tempests. I guess carriers can get 4 Tempests now. In 3.1. How am I going to deal with these 4 Tempests? How am I going to break this? And I guess I'm just going to have to let my team come out, and I'm going to avoid them. Maybe get into a position where I can sideswipe someone, maybe pick off this Overlord or get some damage, or maybe I'll just get some farm instead, yeah? So I was just thinking, okay, I'm gonna deny these Mutas from annoying me. Meanwhile, Forestry dude. Just coming out, thinking, okay, are we going to be able to pick someone off here, or am I just farming up? And it looks like he'll get his gats on that Overlord if the Overlord insists. But he's mostly concerned about just making sure that they can evenize the farm at this point. They're a little bit down, but not so much that they need to be particularly worried. You know, 230 farm is not nothing. It is a lead for the blue team, but it's not something that you're gonna beat yourself up over, especially when you are pushing in. And so there's no Void Ray on the blue team, so it's really about carrier versus Void, yeah? But as I was saying at the beginning, what are you going to count on to make that big kill? Or to maintain enough siege damage, right? So the blue team, instead of getting scouts on the carrier, actually is going this heavy siege build with Brood and Tempests. Actually, almost surprised that Wash doesn't have like DDD or something to make it even more of a lockdown siege build. Kraken picks up, you know, if they get a kill, then what they can do is they can have Kraken even pick up siege mode, get PD and Washburne, and then just have this unstoppable wave of siege damage, capable of killing all towers. Whereas Red Team is really focused more on killing people like Seth, you know, waiting for our ship to get a little bit out of position, and then just beaming him down before can get there. And that's exactly why Sanya likes that Void Ray. That's a really big advantage for Red Team now, that pushed them into the farm lead. They are now don't have to deal with those annoying Broodlords anymore. And are they going to pick off Kraken here too? They're going to get Kraken here too, I think. Oh, the E-shield popped. He does have defensive matrix. He has bots. He has shields coming in from Washburne. They got it. Red Team has to be careful here. They don't want to overextend, trying to pick off this apparently dead ship. And oh, there's the blackout. But that's a disengaging blackout, not a killing blackout. But picking off Seb the Guardian was more than enough to make this a really advantageous position for the Red Team now, because now it's going to be even easier to pick off the other ships. There's going to be no chance of those Broodlords, you know, getting clumped up and taking one of their towers, picking them off, and just otherwise dealing damage. And also no risk of Parasite coming in and landing on their Void Ray, who dodged a Siphon right there. Why is the Chrono on the Colossus? I guess for the Interceptors behind the Colossus, actually. Makes sense. So Red Team is not really that far ahead in farm, even after picking off subs like that, because they were not ahead on farm before. They were down 200 farm. So since they are letting Blue Team get some farm here, the farm is just within 200 now. So Blue Team has enough money that they can still come back here. You know, they give Cubana a chance to get his side blast up to a point where. What? Is this tooltip broken? That was supposed to... Sorry. I thought I was in observer chat, but I guess as referee, I type in all chat. I'm used to being set as an observer, not referee. My bad. Sorry about that. 800 plus 0 versus biological. That does not look right. I can't even, there's like no way to type in, oh there it is. There is observer type, the F6 tab. Oh, so it actually starts at 0 and then goes up? So 1310 plus 150? It really starts at 800 damage? There, we found a server chat. Alright, so yeah, that's a interesting difference on 3.1 is that the Overlord does have different damage scaling for Side Blast. Good things to know. There's a Vortex going down to disengage so that they can keep Kraken safe. But Sanya's going to go ahead and try to get in here on Washburne. Oh wow. Kraken very low, and Jochen was actually taking some hull there as well. Oh, instead of judging out. Blue team just feels they're down too far. They can't come back. In my opinion, if they had an Arbiter, they could still come back. Heck. I don't think Cubana was actually ready to quit that game. But it's over now, certainly. So that was a 3.1 IH match. I hope it was informative and enjoyable to watch.